hi. So we're going to pretend that my hair is the same in this clip as it is in the next clip you guys are going to see, but I decided to do this Instagram controls my weekend completely spur of the moment on the way home from work yesterday, so I didn't have an intro clip to film. So here we are, intro clip. Hello, hi, it's me, Mel. But this weekend I am going to have you guys control what I do, what I drink, what I eat, what I do, what I read, all of that fun stuff, what I watch. I did one of these about a year ago and I will leave it up in the cards for you guys, but it was a lot of fun doing it then and I haven't done it in a while, so I wanted to do another one. This is probably the only free weekend I have for a little while, so I thought that it would be a really good time to do it. I've also been pretty slumpy, honestly, so I just haven't been in the mood really to read anything, and I'm certainly not in the mood to read my required reads, so I decided that this would be a great weekend to just kind of put up polls of things that I've been excited to read and wanting to read that aren't going to be in vlogs, and that way maybe I can get my reading mojo back a little bit, because my reading mojo has left me. But I guess without further ado, let's jump into the vlog. We'll cut to yesterday when I was on my way home from work. Okay, so I am headed into Barnes & Noble. I need to pick up 2 books. They are both new releases, ones that I've really been wanting to read, but couldn't really fit into vlogs, so I figured this would be a great weekend to do that. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna grab both of those, and then I'll put up a poll for you guys to have you choose which one I start with and read for the weekend. Let's go grab them. Okay. Well, unfortunately, that was a bit of a bust. They did not have either of the ones that I wanted, and I almost went ahead and bought 2 other ones anyway, but I just decided that I didn't need to do that. I was a little aggravated because they could not find one of them, even though they said they had it. Oh well, it's not a big deal. So I do have e-copies of those. I just really wanted the physical book. So we'll see. I may go somewhere else and look for them later, but for now I've got to go pick up Ollie, so I really don't have time to do that, but I will check in with you guys once I decide what my options are. I am home. I am changed. So let's see what Instagram says I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day. Instagram says that I need to film, so let's go get everything set up and ready to film. I do have I don't know, 3 or 4 videos that I need to film, plus a couple of intros, so we will see how much of that I'm able to get done, but I really needed to do that and I really don't want to clean, so good looking out, guys.
I'm like, Pierce trying to pull a wool over my eyes because, baby, I didn't see the body, so I know it's not the case. I know it's not the case, period.
Anyway, this is it. I bet this was Mauser whenever he was a puppy. I'm not sure.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a video I do want more in this one than it has been in the previous 2 installments. The second one, I'm reading. I'm not going to talk about too much. I'm going to be making a spoiler video for this one. Maybe I should start that now, actually.
So far, I was just learning a lot, and it was generally interesting, but it didn't captivate me. And then once we really got into the character development, I fell in love with this book and gave it 5 stars.
Good morning, everyone. I have just gotten up, gotten ready for the day. Probably gonna go out with my mom this afternoon. Typically that's kind of our Saturday thing. So I don't know how many polls I will be putting up as far as that goes, just because she typically helps make the decisions on Saturday. But maybe if we're trying to figure out where to eat or something like that, I'll be able to put up a poll and then I'll be back this afternoon. I have put up 2 polls since we last talked. The first one is to decide what I'm going to be reading for this weekend, and I believe the last time I checked that, yes, Elise Kova won the poll. So it was between this and Whalefall, which was what I was trying to go into Barnes & Noble and get yesterday, but they didn't have. And the Elise Kova won. So this is a young adult fantasy romance about a library apprentice, a sorcerer's prince, and an unbreakable magic bond. Cassidy really loved this one when she read the whole series. She binged the whole series, which had me wanting to read it, and then Claire also I think really enjoys it. So I have high hopes. I haven't read a fantasy romance in a little while. I've been on my epic fantasy binge, so I'm excited to step back into it. And then the other poll that I put up was, should I make a hot coffee or should I make a cold energy drink? And everyone voted for hot coffee, so I'm gonna have you guys help me out with that, and then I'm gonna sit down and read for a little while before mom gets here. Please pardon the messiest kitchen of all time, but I'm going to be using my mic mug this morning. I just absolutely love this mug so much. He is freaking adorable. He comes from a local coffee shop. Okay, Intencio or double shot this morning? I think I'm going to use my Intencio. I just love this Nespresso. It's so easy to use. So when I make coffee, I very rarely make it with creamer anymore. I used to, but I like making it with milk now when I can. So usually I'll use like the Intencio, or the Sakura is my second favorite. It's a double shot, so that's a lot of times what I'll use in the morning when I don't want quite as much coffee. So we're gonna use the Intencio, and then I also typically use this cookie dough syrup because it tastes really good, or I have like a white chocolate, which is also really good, but I'm running out of that one, so I probably need to get some more. Okay, so coffee is made, and I also have two very special packages to unbox for you guys. And I got these late last night, but I honestly was already in bed by the time the mail ran. It was super late. I feel so bad for them right now, especially with it being so hot to be out until 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night. It's awful. But the first one that I want to unbox is a Barnes & Noble package, which means it's probably a pre-order that I forgot about. So let's see what's in here. So you remember me going to the bookstore yesterday and being kind of upset that they didn't have two books that I wanted? This is what I was going to buy. So apparently past me was looking out for future me and decided that I needed these this weekend. So we have Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. This is the newest Catriona Ward. Again, I loved Last House on Needless Street. I kind of liked, but mostly a miss on Sundial. And those are the only two that I've read from her so far. So I'm really excited to read this one. I'm trying to decide. I'm going to Maine in October, and this is set in Maine. So do I read that there, or do I come up with a different theme? Not sure. And then also Whalefall. I thought that this was just like a horror, but it was actually shelved in sci-fi. So I'm curious to see like how this is sci-fi, because I thought it was underwater horror, which I love. But what I'm hoping that means is that it is a sci-fi based world horror, which means I will hopefully really, really like this. I adore the cover. Like, look at that. Look at that cover. So these are the two that I was planning to go get yesterday. So I'm really glad that I wasn't able to find them. And then also I have gotten my Illumicrate in the mail. I do the box only. And this one is the Jasad Air by Sarah Hashim. This one is one that I've heard a lot of really good things about. I've been super excited to get so that I can read it. It came out earlier in July, but I was waiting on the Illumicrate copy and not purchasing it because I knew that I had this one coming. I like this copy, but it's not my ultimate favorite. Normally Illumicrate does some really cool, like, unique covers, and they have some really awesome edges. And while these edges are really pretty, like, I really like the geometric design of the edges, they are not nearly what I was expecting from Illumicrate, because like they did the Empire of the Vampire that was so gorgeous with the castle and the birds and like the mixed, and so this feels a little bit basic from them, even though it's gorgeous. And then the end pages, again, they just kind of match, which is fine, but like I was just expecting it to be a little more oomph behind it coming from Illumicrate. This is also a contender potentially for the weekend. However, it is like 500 pages long, so maybe not. I really, really, really want to get to this one, and I do love how very shiny it is. It is gorgeous. But anyway, that is my little mini book haul for the weekend. Very excited to read these, and hopefully they're all a win. And now to get some reading done, or potentially watch BookTube or Fringe. I've been on a Fringe kick, and you guys didn't let me watch Fringe yesterday, so I might do that, but I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do until Mom gets here. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and she usually gets here around 10 or 10:30, so I probably have a little bit of time before I have to worry about that, so I really should read. I'll probably read. You guys should really be yelling at me right now to read.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chase. I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No,
so I did want to give you a quick update because I'm about 50 pages into Air Awakens by Elise Kova, and this is following Vala, who is a librarian apprentice, I believe, and a prince comes in that is hurt, and they all kind of start scrambling to figure out what is going on. I believe this is a world where there are sorcerers, but sorcerers are a point of like fear for a lot of people, and Vala figures out that she may actually be a sorcerer and they're trying to like recruit her, and she's also talking to this person called the Phantom. That's really all I've gotten so far into this book. I don't have a lot of thoughts so far. It's generally fine. Like, the writing is pretty good. It's definitely YA, but it's not reading super, super young. Like, Vala is fine. She's not a character that I dislike, but I won't say that I'm like super connected to any of the characters just yet, or that I'm really engaged. Like, it's interesting enough, but I'm not a whole lot feels like it's happening, even though things are happening. So I'm kind of passively reading at this point. I do like the writing. I think that the writing is good, and I'm hoping that that means that I will start to engage more with the story as it goes on. I know that that is something that a lot of people said was the beginning of this felt kind of like a 3-star for them, but as they went on, they started to enjoy it a lot more. So fingers crossed that will be the case for me as well. But I'm gonna continue to read. I'm hoping to get to at least 100 pages, and then I need to put up another poll to decide what I'm gonna do with the rest of my afternoon, because I've got stuff strewn everywhere. So I need to decide if I'm gonna like do the dishes or get a load of laundry done, or what I'm going to do, because my house is a wreck and it's driving me a little insane. But I will check back in with you guys probably about the halfway point. This book is not super long. It's only about 300 pages. So when I get to page 150-ish, then I will check back in. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more thoughts, because right now I'm just kind of feeling like it's generally fine, but I don't have a lot of deep thoughts otherwise. So I'll check back in at 150 pages, and hopefully I've got more to say. So we're in my closet because 76% of you said that I needed to do laundry. And you know what? That's probably going to take me longer than the dishes, so you da-da-da-da. But I am going to pop in an audiobook and get started on some laundry, because I really do need to do that. So you probably chose correctly. And honestly, I'm probably going to end up doing the dishes too, because adulting is hard. Adulting sucks. And laundry and dishes are things that I feel like never end. Never ever. Like, I'm still wearing clothes even while I'm doing laundry, therefore the laundry is never finished. But I'm gonna quit whining about it. I'm going to pop on my audiobook, because might as well multitask and I guess come do laundry with me.
You got something I can never be without, yeah. I'm in your command. Thought I was a man of my own will. It's been 2 years. I'm only a shadow of the good on me now. A breeze in my ear, 'cause you know I cannot say no to you. Feeling like home, but should it be like this? Locked up in your dome, you know I fight for you. What do I do? Every time you call my name, what do I do? You're whipping me into madness. I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I we can't stop it, so I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. I find myself apologizing when you've started it.
Okay, so I am now about 150 pages, which is halfway into Air Awakens by Elise Kova, and I'm liking this one. It's so easy to just keep flipping those pages, and before I knew it, I was 100 pages further, and it took me no time at all. It's just a super quick, easy, fun read for sure. I still find myself very interested, wanting to know what's going on, but I am a little bit bored in that I just want there to be more actually happening. I do think something has happened or will be happening soon that will hopefully propel the story forward just a little bit, but I'm just kind of waiting on plot to develop. I'm waiting to just learn a little something more or to give me more into the world something here. But unfortunately, it's just kind of lagging a little bit for me. I will say that every time I read Vala's name, I think Valhalla, like the Odin Norse god thing, which is just kind of throwing me off a little bit. And if I say it, I'm sorry, because I read it as Valhalla every single time. A couple of things that are not my super favorite in this is I do wish that the banter and the like tension between her and Aldrich had been a little bit more prolonged. I was hoping for a tad bit more enemies to friends kind of situation. I just wish it had been drawn out a little bit longer because everything is feeling a little rushed right now. We're not getting as much information into the world, and then we went from her being a library apprentice and him being hurt to immediately he's better. Now they hate each other. No, they don't. It feels a little rushed and a little bouncing around, and I kind of wish things would slow down and develop a little bit more. There was something that happened called the bond, and I won't go into what that is because I feel like it could be a little bit spoilery. And I'm afraid I'm not going to like that. I'm afraid it's going to go down a certain other trope type pathway that's not a favorite for me. However, there are other people that I know that have read this and really enjoyed it that also don't like that trope. So I'm really hoping that that's not the way that it goes. I'm keeping my mind open. Like, I'm not upset by it, but it just made me pause and go, ooh, I hope that doesn't go the direction that I think it might go in. And then I want her to struggle a little bit more with the magic. I think that this is one of those stories that is a pretty breakneck, even though I say that nothing's happening. Things are moving relatively quickly as far as the magic and the relationships and things like that. And I think this is going to be one of those stories where she is the windwalker or the windrunner that they have been waiting for however many years. And she's this all powerful, and you can tell that they keep saying things like that shouldn't be possible or for a more powerful sorcerer. But she's able to do it, and it's been like 4 days. And I wish that we were seeing a little bit more of a struggle. I wish that we were seeing a little bit more of her kind of learning and coming to terms with this and having a hard time doing things, but being able to slowly progress and do it better and better and better. And she is doing that to an extent, but there are a lot of things that people are saying that's like, you shouldn't be able to do that yet. And she can, which leads me to believe that she's going to be this like all-powerful Windrunner. So not only is she the first one in however many years, but she also is all-powerful. I don't know. I don't know. I'm being ultra picky, I know, because I'm enjoying this book. It's like I said, it's a super quick read. I am engaged. I am wanting to continue, but there are just a couple of little things that I'm like, if you could just do that just a little bit different, it would be like great instead of good. Does that make sense? So I feel like we're at good instead of great right now, which is still okay. I'm still enjoying it, but I'm hoping that the second half goes into great territory. So we shall see, we shall see. I have no other plans for tonight, honestly. At some point, David's supposed to get here, but he's been working really, really late recently. I think a lot of people are calling out, so I don't know. I have not heard from him yet, and it's 7 p.m., so I don't know if that means that he's not going to be here for a while or if he's on his way. I do not know, but once he gets here, there will be utter and complete chaos. I would love to finish this tonight because I wouldn't mind reading another book for this vlog, but since it ends tomorrow, we'll see if I actually manage to get that done. But if you see another poll for another book, you'll know that I finished this one. I'm gonna go back to reading this. I have got a fall ambiance room on, and you guys, I am living for the fall vibes. It is currently 85 degrees outside and feels like 93. So for all of you people that voted for a hot coffee this morning, I just want you to remember that it feels like 93 degrees outside. But I'm ready for fall. And unfortunately, I still probably have at least another 5 weeks of sweltering heat before we get to semi-fall, and probably like 7 weeks before we get to actual fall, which is only gonna last like 2 weeks, and then it's gonna be winter. But anyway, I can get excited and I can put on my ambiance room and just pretend that it's fall. So that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll even light a candle. Look at me go. Like, who am I? Lighting a candle in the summertime. Yeah, I've rambled on enough. I will talk to you guys in a bit. Good morning, all. It is currently 9:40, and I'm up, I'm showered, and I have finished Air Awakens. I'm just going to talk to you guys about that real quick while I was getting ready. I did go to Sephora yesterday and bought some new makeup. The foundation that I have been using for like 5 years, they've suddenly decided needs to be discontinued. So I had to go and see if anybody had any suggestions for something else to use. So got a new primer, like I said, a new foundation, new blush. I'm gonna try that out and see what I think. Hopefully I like it, but it's really hard to beat a foundation you've been using for so long. But anyway, let's chat the end of Air Awakens by Elise Kova. I ended up liking this one. I gave it a high 3-star. I think that the kind of slow beginning or first half did hurt this book a little bit for me because I just kept wanting there to be more going on. I kept wanting there to be either more plot or more development into the world or more about the magic. And if we weren't going to have that and it was truly a fantasy romance, then I wanted more of the relationship between the two characters. And unfortunately, we kind of just got surface level of both of those things. And I needed a little bit more of both. So I think that while I did like it, I just kept wanting more of something. Like I could have handled one instead of the other. I needed something. So overall, I think that I really liked this. I definitely want to continue on. I think that this was very much so a setup book. You can really tell that this was like setting up the future plot line for sure. And so I'm hopeful that I even enjoy the second and third books, or I guess the rest of the books, there's more than 3, even better than I did this one. I don't really know that I have a whole lot more to say. I did like the ending quite a bit. I thought that the ending was good. There were a couple of logic moments for me in there, but overall, I had a good time with it. Like I said, the ending was definitely better for me. So yeah, I'm gonna count that as a win. I had a good time with it. I'm interested to continue on to the sequels and honestly would probably do that pretty soon because I thought that the ending was very well done. Now, I cannot get this open. So now let's see what I'm going to be reading for the rest of the day. Let's see, where's Instagram? There it is. Looks like Immortal Longings won with 53% of the votes, with Wellfall coming in a very, very close second. I was kind of hoping Wellfall would win, not gonna lie, because it is the shorter book and it's the one that I own. And so I knew that I'll probably be able to get it finished, whereas I'm just hopeful that I can finish Immortal Longings. We may be going to pick it up from the store today. Because I don't own it. All I have is the audiobook copy, and I'm afraid with just the audiobook copy, I'm not going to be able to quite get it done. I'm not one of those people that can just sit and listen to an audiobook. Like I really need there to be something that I'm doing with my hands or something, and I don't really have anything to do. So I did look at that earlier this morning though and cheated just a little bit and have barely started it. I've gotten to chapter 3, which is not, obviously not very far in, but I'm liking it so far. This is a retelling, I think, and it is an interesting world. We have got our prince. It's really the only point of view that I've seen so far, and we've just been told that there is this competition that happens every year, and I'm not even really sure why they do the competition, but I do know that whoever wins gets some kind of like riches beyond their wildest imagining or something like that. And so there are like 87 people that are 88 people that are chosen to participate, and he has rigged it so that one particular person's name gets in, and then we have him jump from one body to another, and that's kind of where I've left off, and I thought that that was a really cool thing to introduce into the story. I liked that a lot. So I'm very interested. I like it so far. The writing, like I said, is good. I'm curious to see what's happening. I think the magic's going to be interesting. So we'll see. I may, like I said, go pick this up from Barnes & Noble later today so that I have a physical copy to read a little faster when I'm not in the mood to listen to an audiobook, and we'll see how it goes. But I don't think I have anything else for you guys this morning. I'm going to finish up my makeup, get off of here, and I will check back in once I'm a little bit further into Immortal Longings or once we have done something interesting with the day. So I'm in the car because I got one of these. Actually, my mom got one of these yesterday, and it was so good that I got up this morning and got ready so that I could come and get one of these coffees. And it is a maple bourbon pecan protein coffee. And like, for one, that sounds amazing, just maple bourbon. For two, it tastes like fall, you guys. It's super sweet, which I would probably, like, she told me how to make it, and I would probably tamp down the pumps of syrup just a little bit so it's not quite so sweet for me. But like, it tastes like fall. And I know it's not fall. Literally, it's 83 degrees outside. It's supposed to be 94 today. I know it's not fall, but I'm gonna pretend, and then when I step outside of this car, I will be very, very reminded. But I just wanted to tell you guys that I had to go get one of these. Like, it is so good. So good. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm still listening to Immortal Longings. I have nothing more to tell you guys. I was just gonna tell you about the coffee. Hi friends. We did not go where you told us to go to eat. I was pretty sure that if I waited any longer to eat, I was gonna eat my hand and then his arm and then his other arm. So we decided to just go somewhere that was only like 10 or 15 minutes away and got your food pretty quick, rather than the whole like 45 minutes away sit down restaurant that was chosen for us. So we'll do Wahlburgers next time. But I asked because David said he really wanted to go to Dick's Sporting Goods. I don't do Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm not a super sporty gal. I like watching sports. I just don't play sports. So let's see if he's allowed to go. Okay, you guys are nice, and only 25% of you said that he couldn't go. So
hey,
are you happy?
25% of people.
So I guess he's happy about that. How long are you?
100.
How long are you gonna make me like be in Dick's Sporting Goods?
45 minutes.
45 minutes? You said you had to return something.
Just kidding. Maybe 10.
The 75% of you that said he could go, you're on my shit list. But after that, he's gonna take me to the bookstore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's allowed. It's fine. But I'll probably put up another poll for you guys once I get in the bookstore, because I highly doubt I come out with just the one book that I plan to go in and buy. And I'm pretty sure I have rewards points, so...
Y'all say no, she doesn't need any more books.
It's a free book. It's a free book. Just...
You don't need any more books? No.
Ew. God. David's Jeep has literally the perfect filming, like, prop. And I'm kind of mad that my car doesn't, because this is perfect. You're not on a tripod, it's perfect. But anyway, I just came out of Barnes & Noble and I did get what I went after, which was Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. This one I did start this morning. I got about 20% of the way into it, but I'll be honest, I had a massive headache because I was so hungry. So I didn't catch probably most of the last 10%. So I think I'm going to go back about 10% or so into this, and hopefully I can finish it for you guys tonight. That's still the goal. And then you also had me pick up two other books, and then I decided to grab one, honestly based off of Erin's recommendation. She was tweeting about how much she was enjoying it, so I decided to go ahead and grab it too. The first one that you guys had me grab is A Twisted Love Story by Samantha Downing. This is her newest release that is about a toxic relationship and how they're like push and pull and on and again, off again, but they have a secret that keeps them like coming back to each other, and their latest breakup might just be their last breakup. I don't know. Samantha Downing has some really cool ideas in her thrillers and some really cool like things that she will do with them, but I will say that I really liked, well, I liked My Lovely Wife. I did not like He Started It, and the academia one, I don't even remember what it was called now. It was generally okay, it just wasn't a favorite of mine, so hopefully this ends up being a win. And then you guys also had me pick up Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I do have the audiobook for this one that was gifted to me by Tor, and apparently this one is about a real estate agent that is a vampire. And then we also have a medium, and when the vampire seeks out the medium to help with a ghost-infested mansion, he becomes involved in a quest that neither of them expected or wanted. There is a poltergeist, a demonic personal trainer, and a sharp-voiced angel. So honestly, this sounds a little quirky. I was not expecting it to be more of like a lighthearted read, but then again, Olivia Blake's Atlas 6 wasn't really all that lighthearted, so I'm wondering if there's a little bit more to meet the eye in this one. And then because Erin was enjoying it so much, I did decide to pick up one for my enemy. This one is about witch crime bosses in New York City, and it sounds really, really interesting. So I definitely want to give this one a try as well. It has gorgeous end papers on it. Both of these are Barnes & Noble exclusive editions, which I honestly do not care about. And it's just another sticker, but sometimes that means that they do have really pretty end papers in them. Now if they would just do sprayed edges, we would be in business. But anyway, this is my little haul for you guys. I'm happy with it. I think I got some good books. But I'm excited to go home, read some more of Immortal Longings. I'm really enjoying this one so far. I think that the world is super interesting. I just need to go back and read a little bit more about what I missed, because I know that I missed a pretty good bit earlier today. He has run in Publix really quickly to pick up, I don't know what. I've kind of got him like on a timer, because sending that man in a grocery store is like turning a child loose in a candy shop. It takes him forever to come out of there. And I don't know why, because I hate grocery shopping so much. Like, I will do pickup any day of the week so that I can just put stuff in my cart online, drive up, grab it, and go. I don't like browsing grocery stores, but he loves browsing grocery stores. So hopefully he makes it semi-snappy because I think the bottom is about to fall out, which would explain the headache. But anyway, I think that that's all I've got for you guys for now. Once I am about halfway, actually probably once I have reread that 10% and gotten to about 20-25%, I will check in with you guys, give you my initial first impressions into Immortal Longings. But it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but if I want to finish this in the context of a weekend, then I really need to get on it. It is now raining outside, which is like the perfect reading weather. I don't feel particularly fantastic. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've got a little bit of a headache, but I'm just gonna lay down and enjoy the rainy, gloomy weather while I read about bloody murder. So I'm about 100 pages into the Immortal Longings so far, and I like it. I do agree with a lot of the reviews that it is very Hunger Games-esque. You can tell that that's definitely where she got a lot of her inspiration, although I want to say it's like an Anton and Cleopatra retelling or something, but I'm enjoying it. There's a lot of complaints on the reviews that I looked at because I was curious why it had more like a 3.5 on Goodreads. I wasn't seeing a problem with it, and I think it is because there's a lot of info dumps in here, which doesn't bother me. I'm an epic fantasy reader. Like, info dumps just kind of come with the territory, so that's not really bothering me at all. I'm actually wanting to know more about the world. I want to know a little bit more about the Empire and how it got to where it is today. I still want to know a little bit more about the jumping. I don't think we're going to get any more information on that, but I wish I knew a little bit more about how it worked. It's fine. Like, I feel like we got plenty. It's just I want to know more about how it works. We have gotten to a little bit of a lull point where not as much is going on, and so I'm hoping it picks back up soon, but I definitely liked the beginning. It was engaged in kind of the magic in the world and this competition, but I love a good competition. I wish that the stakes were a little bit higher in the competition. I feel like we go from, you know, the battle scenes or people dying and it happens all really, really fast, and I kind of wish we would slow down just a little bit, have a little bit of good banter, see a little bit of those action fight scenes, and have people that we actually knew about starting to kind of die off. And I think that that would help with the like tension and the stakes feeling a lot higher. But so far, I'm having a good time. I like it, and I'm excited to continue reading it. I'm really hoping I can get it done tonight. We shall see, but David has put on Only Murders in the Building. He's never seen it before, and I need to catch up on season 3, so he's going to watch that, and then once we get to season 3, I'm going to catch back in. But I really want to watch it, and so I've like got my headphones in and I'm trying to ignore him so that I can read my book, but I really want to watch that show. It's such a good show. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go sit back down because it is like 5:30, and if I don't keep reading, then I'm never going to get this book done. So I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit if I have anything else to say, and hopefully can get some more polls up for you guys in the meantime. Hello friends. So I have just gotten home from work. I went out to eat dinner with my family, and I'm now finally home. It's not too late in the evening, but it is a lot later than I meant to be filming this clip. I did finish Immortal Longings last night, but trying to get David out the door and everything, it just got a little late for me to be filming a vlog clip. So let's talk my final opinions, final thoughts on Immortal Longings. I ended up really liking this. I think if you are looking for something that is a quick, fun fantasy read, then this could be a very good option for you. There's a lot of murder in here, so take fun as you will. But I did think that this was an interesting story. I thought that it did a pretty good job doing what it set out to do. However, I think I'm gonna give this a high 3-star simply because I just felt like it was missing a lot of depth. I wanted more character development. I wanted more relationship development. I wanted a little bit more into the world and what was going on and how we got here. And even in the competition, I just felt like everything was pretty surface level. So that's why it's going to be a 3-star from me instead of like a 4 or a 5-star, is because I just felt like we were missing a lot of depth, even though I enjoyed what we got. I do think that I will continue on in this series though. I liked the ending and the kind of direction that it was heading in. I thought that that was well done. Like I said, I liked the magic, the jumping kind of thing, and I liked the competition aspect to it. I just needed more depth. I think I've already said that. But anyway, I had a good time with it. Very glad to have been able to read it. We'll definitely continue on in this series. And so yeah, I think that is everything. Thank you guys so very much for controlling my weekend. It was a very fun weekend. I had a great time. I hope you guys did as well. Sorry for ignoring, but I only ignored one poll, so I feel like that's a win. We found some good books, and it was a solid weekend. So if you just want to let me know that you were here and hanging out, leave me a dog emoji, because I feel like we've had a lot of dogs this weekend. And as always, links to my Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads are all in the description box down below. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.